joined by feminist activist, founder of Standing for Women and mother of four, Kellie-Jay Keen. So, Kelly, welcome to the programme. What kind of problems do you think pause can cause, and how damaging do you think it is to society?
Well, I think holistically it's damaging as a society. Listening to Be There, I feel a great sense of, I think pity is the wrong word, sadness, that she felt self-esteem was something that she got from being objectified and arousing men that she doesn't know through OnlyFans. So I think that is a big issue. I think OnlyFans in itself is problematic. I think not only are we allowing children to watch porn, often we're allowing children to participate in it in a variety of different sites. They don't really care how old the people are who are being exploited. And many of the performers, if we can call them that, have been found to be underage. I think it's an issue. We're now finding boys under the age of 20 going into GP surgeries because they've got erectile dysfunction, because they've watched too much porn, because they have absolutely no connection between sex, intimacy, and actual real live people. So I think it's bad for the individual and it's bad for society as a whole. There's a reason that we now have cocktails that are labelled things that I certainly couldn't repeat at this time of the day or on national television. And we've got women being choked in their own homes by partners who feel that that's a perfectly normal sexual thing to do to someone. So the harm is absolutely enormous. And to say no, that just because age verification may in some cases fail, that we shouldn't have it, the damage to children is just irreversible. And I'm so delighted that Billie Eilish took the courage to actually talk about this publicly.
Well, B said that B certainly didn't look sad to me. I mean, you said you feel sorry for her in a sense, but she also didn't feel objectified either. And so, you know, whilst I respect what you think, she didn't feel those things. And she might say that your view of her would be quite patronising in a way, because she's talking about freedom and the fact that it's giving her a confidence and identity, which she enjoys. But the other side of it is, of course, that she's kind of taking control. So, but she also did say that she would like to have ID, but she wouldn't say that would be a mandate. So, and
I don't know if we can talk about empowerment and control when we belong to an industry where a man is making £150 million from us taking our clothes off and performing certain sex acts for people over cameras. I don't think that's a position of empowerment. I think money is a very attractive thing and nobody can do without it. But I think we have very serious questions to ask, that many young women feel their ticket to supposed freedom and liberation is to take their clothes off for men. I mean, that's a really skewed way of looking at empowerment. Surely empowerment is not having to take your clothes off. And not to patronise B, but we all have lives that are very, very long and they involve eventually maybe children and families and other things that we want to do. And now that she has a permanent record of doing things that maybe she wouldn't want her children to see as she grows older. But this isn't even about B. This is about the many women that actually it isn't a choice. Many women leaving sex work call themselves survivors. Many women leaving sex work have physical and mental injuries that they have to work through for the rest of their lives. So I think it's quite an individualistic point of view to think that if something isn't harming you, it actually isn't harming much more vulnerable people, and you aren't contributing to what I think is sexual slavery in 2021.
Well, she also did mention sex education, which would be something that perhaps we should maybe be focusing on more as well. In one word then, so yes or no, do you think that it should be, so this sort of type of thing should be behind a paywall, and that people should, you know, if it is going to go on, because it will go on, should it be behind a paywall?
100% it should be behind a paywall. And also when it comes to education, if I can just make a very brief point, in our schools, we should be teaching children about the harms of pornography, both to them as individuals and the women across the globe that are exploited because of it.
OK, thank you so much. So you do agree, you both agree that it should be behind a paywall. That's Kellie-Jay Keen. She's a feminist activist and a founder for Standing for Women. Right, we'll hear some of your views in a few minutes, but let's get a